So we're going to wrap up with our final speaker of the day. If I can invite Kieran Bowerbank to come down, he's going to share a little bit of his story. And then I encourage you to stick around. Bina's going to share some final thoughts before we all head on back to our respective homes. So thank you very much. That's for you, Kieran. They're clapping because you're walking. Come on, one more exciting. So this is his first American speaking experience. And I'm training him to be a professional speaker at some point, right, Kieran? All right, I'm going to set up your slides. Give me 1 second. So you can just say hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Kieran Bowerbank and I'm 23 years old and I live in a village called Hurley in Warwickshire, England. First of all, I'd like to thank Bina for inviting me to come along today and speak to you all about my journey with 8P. What's this?
Forward, backward, and the laser pointer.
Forward, backward, laser pointer. Oh, good.
And if you need help, I'm right here.
I'll put it there. Like I said, I'd like to thank Bina for inviting me to come along today and speak to you guys about my journey with 8P and inviting me to be a part of the 8P community, which is quite close to my heart and very heartwarming from Bina. I would like to share my story with you and show you that the obstacles I've overcome over the years have been positive experiences. The first thing that families usually do once they get diagnosed is Google it. I find that Google is slightly backdated, and therefore everything out there on the internet is of a negative perspective. But also I want to encourage you all to use the amazing research that Bina has put together. And please be there to further the research of 8P, not just for yourselves out there, but for the future children to come. The fears for 8P are slightly different from my family compared to you guys, as when I was growing up, 8P was not forefront of my parents. But the fears for me is not that I've got 8P, it's more that I can overcome the obstacles that I have in front of me and succeed. Right, so then my little button comes involved. I was born on the 13th of February 1996 at George Eliot Hospital, Nuneaton, which is 100 miles north-east of London. I don't know this. And after initially being fed on the ward from my mum, I decided to turn blue and stop breathing. So therefore, I got rushed to special care baby unit for 10 days. This is where I had every test under the sun and found out I had a rare chromosome disorder. After it's okay. After 10 days on the ward, I was brought home. And I was therefore referred to a geneticist where we live from. And it was found out that my rare chromosome disorder was 8p 23.1 deletion. And therefore referred to other specialists in the hospitals. But one thing that my parents were not given was any details on how it could affect me and how I would grow up with it. They only got told that it could affect my speech, my learning, the development of my functional skills, my growth, plus a congenital heart defect. Congenital heart defects are very common with the 8P community. My form of congenital heart defect is pulmonary stenosis. Pulmonary stenosis is the narrowing of the pulmonary valve that takes the oxygen around the heart. But luckily, as I have grown, so has my valve, and therefore I've had no ill symptoms along the way, such as tiredness or short of breath. And also, leading on from that, I have had no surgery or medication to improve it. At the age of 3 months old, I was diagnosed with a hernia after constantly moaning to my parents. One thing Also, one thing that I have struggled with when I was born was taking formula milk. So the health visitor decided to put me on full milk. I didn't look back from the full milk, as I loved this and drank this by the bucket load. By doing this, it helped me reach milestones along the way, weight and growth in particular. I was crawling at 8 months old, I was walking at 1 year, and at 2 years, I was potty trained by my parents. At 2, I also started nursery. Nursery is a place where I have developed in learning to talk and therefore read and write as well. Mum and Dad quickly started to realise that I had a photographic memory. By having a photographic memory, this led to me remembering how to be taught to dress myself and tie my shoelaces at the age of 3. Also, Mum and Dad thought it was important to learn me to swim. But swimming for me wasn't easy. As I'm sure you can all relate, we have coordination issues. With the coordination issues, when I started to swim, I'd go around in circles, due to my left not coordinating with my right. At 4 years old, I had a few problems with my speech. So therefore, I received speech therapy so I could correct this. My speech therapist taught me how to learn certain phrases and pronounce certain words. But as you all can relate to, these are tongue twisters. They are such as pa, 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 ma, 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 and ka, ka, ka. And phrases such as the cat sat on the mat. From this, I developed a stammer at the age of 6. This led to me being referred to the specialists, where they picked up that a cause of my stammer and my slight delay in speech was down to my rare submucous cleft palate. My cleft palate is rare due to the hole in the top of your mouth forming a layer of skin over the top. But this was not picked up at birth due to not having the Urshaw lip that often comes with cleft palate disorders. The one thing they had to do to make sure that I had this rare submucous cleft palate was place the finger of the professor into the roof of my mouth. The problem with this is it's very unpleasant. So therefore, there were many thoughts in my head, and one in particular was, why not bite that finger? At primary school, I was gifted in many subjects. That little lad there. But one thing that the teachers could not understand is why, when I was in class tests, I would do fantastic. But when it came to the exams, I could not understand why my grades weren't quite up to match with the class tests. This was down to misreading the questions, not fully concentrating on what's going on. My mind would wander, and therefore not get the grades that I should have had. With my cleft palate, this came an operation. This operation would be there to repair my cleft palate and stitch together my uvula at the back of my mouth. This therefore would help my nasal passage and let the air come out in the way it should have. But as most operations occur, there is problems along the way. With this, there was 2 problems. There were 2 holes that would develop due to my stitches bursting. This would become very unpleasant for me, as every time I would drink any fluids, eat food that had a fluid variety, this would come out of my nose. So therefore, the surgeon went back in to repair the 2 holes. However, I was offered a third operation on my cleft palate in my late teens. But as I felt my speech is where I want it to be at, this would not guarantee to work for my consultant, so therefore I left it alone. One thing with operation though, is due to having the heart condition, it is beneficial for me to have antibiotic cover just to make sure we're on the safe side. As you can tell, I had to juggle between school and hospitals. This became difficult as at the age of 6 I had grommets fitted to my left ear. This wasn't my last ear operation, and later on my left ear would perforate. This involved a further 2 more operations to finally sort it out. But I'm not sure if my perforation is entirely down to having 8P. But for me, it was rather an issue, so I thought I would share it with you. Something also was, by going to school, it allowed me to meet different people. And by meeting different people, my dad decided to take me to a football club outside of school. And by having this football team, it would be different parts of where I live, the areas that we live at, and therefore by doing this, you meet different friendships along the way and meet new people. There is something also, as you can see, I'm a Manchester United fan. But as I progressed through football, I soon realised that I was never going to be able to fulfil my dream of playing for the club that I love. There we go. During secondary school, I was put into one of the top 2 sets, even though I was clever enough to go into the top set. But I feel that something that we all have here today is that slight issue of trust. I've had a few teachers along the way that I felt I could trust. By having that trust in those teachers, it allowed me to progress fully and gain everything out of school that I wanted. Something that I do have a strength in, though, at school was maths. But I do, therefore, make the simplest of tasks look difficult. Something that I thought I would share is that growing up, I had no 8P community. This was very difficult for the likes of myself and my parents. By not having an 8P community, I had nobody to share my emotional experiences with, or even to see how they progressed through their lives. So, something that over the course of the weekend, I feel that having this new 8P community in front of me allows not just myself, but every one of you to talk to each other, gain experiences, and share everything with each other. One thing that I would like to share with you is one of my biggest achievements. Like I said before, coordination is not my forte. But at the age of 18, I learned to drive. Driving was something that I wanted to accomplish before I went to university, to have that sense of independence along the way. Today, I reside at the University of Gloucestershire, where I study sports therapy. But as the independent side of university got tougher, therefore I struggled. Struggling through university was not the first 2 years. I decided to keep going and see how far I could get. But in the end, last year I had to admit it's okay to seek help. By seeking help through the Disability Student Services, it has allowed me to balance not only my life, but university effectively, and therefore my work has progressed. In my first year of university when I was 20, after activities, my right knee began to come sore. Therefore, I was referred to the Royal Orthopaedic Hospital in Birmingham. After a few tests, they established that I had a cyst in my right knee bone. Cysts are something that are common with 8P. So therefore, even though mine was in my adulthood, it does not stop any of you guys in your younger years to develop cysts. Something I would like to touch upon is what I do now, which is refereeing. Rugby refereeing incorporates a lot of skills that I've learnt along the way. I have to show that I communicate in an effective way so that the players and the coaches can understand my decision making. Not only understand my decision making, I have to stay calm in situations, and therefore this involves being mentally tough. Also with refereeing, it is not easy to keep up around the pitch. So therefore, I have to reach fitness targets to allow me to referee at the levels I do. This means, however, even though I have 8P, it has not stopped me from reaching what I wanted along the way. From not only keeping fit, but to enjoying my social life also. Just before I finish, guys, there's something I would like to say. Carrie mentioned to put in about the past 12 months, but I thought my past 12 months have developed in continuing my university and refereeing. So I thought, why not talk about my last 6 weeks? This is my last 6 weeks, and it's been quite something. On the 13th of May, I broke my neck. The accident, however, was not great. But this has not stopped me from recovering positively, and therefore, this should enable me to return to what I want to do, which is refereeing rugby, continuing my studies at university. Not only that, but stand in front of you guys and share my experiences, and hopefully one day we can find a treatment for not only myself, but each and every one of you guys. And thank you very much.
Pretty amazing, right? All right. Good job, buddy. See? All those emails paid off, didn't it?
Too many emails.
I know. Kieran, this is all for you, buddy. Okay, seriously, how do I follow that up? Because I'm just a mom. So, just wanted to wrap up a little bit of housekeeping things. We send you off. First of all, from me and from Robert, thank you for allowing us to be part of the 8P family this weekend. You are truly an amazing group of people. I have loved meeting you. I know you guys, many of the little kiddos have given me hugs and smiles. There's something really special in this room. And I cannot wait to see what you guys do with it. And oh my gosh, we got some tears. Kieran, you created tears. I know your intention. So fun. So again, thank you from me, from Robert, and from our team. On your way out, if you can please deposit the surveys, the medical summaries with your specialist questions, the volunteer forms to Robert at the registration desk. Also, we have a ton of kids' snacks and water bottles left over. Please take them because Bina doesn't want to bring all those kids' snacks home. So if you take 2, 5, or 10, she's going to be like, you want 20? We'll take it. Anyways, I just want to close this off, bringing back Bina to send us off. And thank you guys very much for allowing me to be a part of this.
Yeah. So I do have a few words to say. I realize that I like the mic more than I thought I did. Apparently, everybody keeps telling me that. So I wanted to just introduce an amazing 8P mom, Amber Howland, and her family, who rose to the occasion and in the right time when I really needed some help, gave me a lot of opportunity to focus on putting this conference together. Her company, Dragonfly Media, and this is not a plug, but I just really wanted to say that her and her husband, Edward, who's not here, and her entire team was able to support us with a website migration, which will be launched soon, and any little things I needed, tweaking designs and media and all the stuff that I am not good at all, but I did have to learn. She just said, hey, let me take all of this off your plate. And I said, be careful what you wish for. And I gave her an entire list of all the marketing communication support that I needed. And she called me right back in an hour and said, I spoke with my team and we're willing to do all of this for you. And I said, are you joking? And she said, no, I can. I said, no, I actually asked you for a lot. I thought you would say 1 or 2 things on this list. It was like 20 items. And she said, you can count on me. And it was one of the first times that I heard that in this community. And I told her, I said, I don't even know you. You live in Nevada. Like, are you just messing with me? You know? And I heard it in her voice, and I handed it all off, and she did every single one of those items. So I wanted her to just say a couple of words. Thank you so much to your family. I know that there's, And on that note, she's not the only one. You guys have submitted more than the average percentage of volunteer forms back to us already. I mean, Carrie told me, and she's like, what's the average? 20%? Less than 20%. Usually, and I feel like we have maybe like 80% volunteer forms that have been returned to us. So I'm so excited, and I just wanted to thank all of you. I'll say a couple more thanks after I let Amber say a few words.
So I was really supposed to just come up here and tell everybody how much money we made off the jewelry. So, right to the point. Right? But what I did want to say is I asked her to be involved because when I looked at this group and I sat back and I said, we all get to choose what we give our time to, and this is something I want to give my time to. So I asked her, I said, please tell me what I can do. So this was something that we could do because I had the ability to do it. But really, every single person in this room has an ability that is different from every other person. So take that ability and use it at your highest potential. The other thing that I asked her, I just called her up and said, hey, so I used to make jewelry. It was fun. I don't do anymore because I have an 8P kid, right? But I want to do this. So I made some jewelry, and because all of you have bought jewelry, we've raised $2,000. $2,000. So that's really cool. And the only thing I would like to say is if you have something out there, not everybody has the same talents, but if you have something, whether it's you set up a little workshop for kids or you do painting where you can raise a couple $100, $500, every single penny that we as an organization raise goes right back to our kids. And the only other thing I really want to say is, Bina, you're amazing. And I don't think people quite grasp what it takes to put on a conference because I used to do this for a living. This was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. And her family has decided to do this on their own. But I got to tell you, it's not sustainable. So we have to, as families, come together and help, which is why I said, let me help, because we can't sit back and let you do this. We're all benefiting more than I think any other rare disease I've ever seen, because there's very few people that just say, hey, here, let me write you a blank check and we'll see where it goes. So Tabina and your husband and your whole family, thank you. Thank you for doing this for us. Thank you for being our hero. I'm in so much awe of what you do for us. So thank you.
I thought you were only going to talk about the donation.
Yeah.
So this concludes 22 hours on the agenda over 3 days. I mean, I can't believe it. I was just adding it up right now in my seat, and I said, how did we plan 22 hours of conference time? And it still feels like it's not enough, although we're all very tired. But it's remarkable, and it's remarkable that, we mentioned these comments before, but how did 200 plus attendees fly from all over the world to be here in New York City in the same room? Each of you, GoFundMes and, raising donations from your friends and families, you put in so much effort into honestly, trusting me behind Project 8P, and Project 8P was just a name, right? We made up a name, and you didn't know me. I could be a crazy lady in Manhattan. Sometimes I am. Ask my husband. But I really wanted to thank you all for having this faith in me and our family, and now each other. To know that you wanted to meet, one other family in this room, which made you come over here to New York City, speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to the strength of this community and the magic of chromosome 8P, honestly. I feel so blessed. I feel honored that you trusted me. I promised you I wanted to do an out-of-office reply for the next 2 months, and I will not now, because each of you have just given me more momentum, and I will not let you down. I promise you I will not let you down. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here and do this. And now that we will all be a team, I did want to say a very special thank you to my husband, Mehul. So by not doing anything, but just literally not getting in my way and supporting me, and now he did lift a lot of heavy boxes, and he's honestly, he's working so hard day and night so that the foundation can have this seed funding to do this. And I'm not speaking lightly about that. So we wouldn't be able to do this if he wasn't slaving away at work every morning, all night long. So thank you so much. Truly, thank you. And to all of my amazing family, friends, strangers who became friends and family now, Carrie Austria and Rob Austria, there's too many volunteers to name, but I wish I could, and I promise you I will take you guys out for a dinner and drinks, and that's the least I can do. You allowed me to be a participant in this conference. You allowed me to sit in this audience, and to be honest, I had no stress. It's amazing. I didn't expect that. I was so nervous coming into this. I thought, there's so many things that can go wrong. I was so concerned. And to be honest, we're running on time. I mean, how remarkable is that? How remarkable is it that we are running on time? There's been a couple of shifts here and there, and we had our plan B and our plan C. So Carrie, thank you so much for executing all of this to perfection. We had 100% check-in from the registration. So there were no no-shows. I mean, thank you all for showing up, right? I know things go wrong all the time, and flights get delayed, and kids get sick, and we get sick. And no matter what happened, you all made it. So, by the way, 100% check-in and attendance is unheard of at any conference. I mean, that's a round of applause for that. So thank you. I look forward to having you all a part of my lives. I'm sure you all feel that with each other. This is definitely not a goodbye. It is a hello and a welcome and an embrace. We are going to be next to each other and by each other's sides. So I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm just not. I'm just going to say best wishes for the next week, and I will hear back from you guys very, very soon. And I'm here. Carrie's here, any questions you guys have, but lots of love and all the best to all of our 8P heroes, their siblings, their parents, all the caregivers, grandparents that have been here and put all of the support in. I am truly, truly grateful and honored to be a part of all of your lives. Thank you again.
I love